Yes, we're watching some Queen Sheba commercial that Daniel did. He did an amazing job. So this is Zion Utopia Media. We're having Isel. She is part of the health and wellness community here in Sacramento on alternative health, where we believe food is medicine and health is your wealth.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
So
yes,
tell us
yes.
about you and who you are
Mhm.
and what to do. The amazing stuff you do.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
So thank you for having me. And I've been
Welcome,
going
dear.
to Queen Sheba's for years.
That's right.
We're vegan, so we really appreciate Queen Sheba's.
Yes.
I mean, to have the buffet at lunchtime,
Yeah.
in between, coming there with my computer.
Yes.
It's really a community
Yes.
at
Yes.
Queen Sheba's, and we really appreciate the healthy vegan food that helps our keep our lifestyle healthy.
Yes.
Yes.
All the plant-based food.
Yes,
All
yes,
the vegan food.
plant-based.
The
Yes,
music food we eat every
plant
day.
full. Okay, not
Yeah.
just plant-based with processed. No, these are literal plants
Yes.
that we're eating. So yes, and yeah, my name's Isali Rahotep. Peace and blessings. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm a board certified nurse coach.
Yes.
And I'm also a certified Kemetic Reiki practitioner as well. So I do alternative modalities to healing as well.
Yes.
And yeah, I have founded my own business, I Affirm Holistic Health.
That's right.
Where I help my divine community get down to the root causes through
Yeah.
nutrition and lifestyle changes, actualize their higher self, get down to really releasing traumas, whatever it may be, when it comes to energy work as well.
Yeah.
But definitely just helping my divine community get down to the root causes and get into live a better
Yes.
quality
Yes.
of life,
Quality life.
less suffering and pain. You don't
Yes.
have to be suffering so
Yes.
much and in so much pain, and it's just so much we can do when it
Yes.
comes to things that we can control when it comes to our lifestyle. So my business is I Affirm Holistic Health LLC. So where I speak about holistic health, I do holistic health workshops. And I also do Kemetic Reiki. Usually right now I'm doing in a group setting, not
No.
necessarily one-on-one, but more group setting.
Yeah.
So
And make sure you
yes.
sign up for that because you
Yes.
know, holistic health. You know, when we're talking about holistic health, me, I'm always thinking about we need all the four holistic health, which is our spiritual health, our mental health,
Yes.
our physical health,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
our financial health.
Yes.
All come together
Yes.
as a holistic
Emotional
health.
Yes.
So, and all that for me, I always tied it up into our food. Food is in medicine because you're eating bad food, you're getting sick. Food can be also poison.
Yes.
So now it's affecting your health, it's affecting your mental health, it's affecting your spiritual health,
Exactly.
and it's affecting your financial health. Because if
Exactly.
you're sick and you're not able to work. So I always talk about food. Yes. Yes. So we talk about that. Yes. Yeah. And that is and many people everywhere because nothing we prevent people getting sick is all the kind of disease from the biggest body. Right, so I do want to get into a disclaimer. Although I'm a nurse, licensed in California, registered nurse, this is just, for informational purposes, and it's not medical or nursing advice in any way, or psychological or professional advice of any kind. Always consult with your licensed healthcare provider in every regard relating any medical care advice from your personal physician. Also, nutrition is in California. Anybody can speak on nutrition. But that does not warrant anybody that does not warrant myself to to practice medicine, to undertake or diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease, pain, deformity, injury, anything like that.
This is all for informational and health educational purposes.
Yes.
But always consult with your doctor.
Yes.
But yes, getting into the food and nutrition.
Yeah.
I usually like to start with stressors.
Yes.
We're dealing with stressors every day, internal and external.
Yes.
So our internal could be the food stressors. That's putting stress. I mean, our GI tract is working overtime for us. When we're putting good food in, it's doing what it's supposed to do. When we put toxic food in, it has to work overtime, and then it can't focus on things like our immune system and things like that. And so when external stressors, so basically, if you think back to our ancestors, where whether the hunter-gatherer, when we hunt, when we do things for our village, that stress was good for us because we need to be quick, fast, quick thinking, quick on our feet, doing what we need to do for our village, right? We needed that stress at that time.
Yes.
Nowadays, in modern society, we have this chronic stress state, and our body does not know the difference between the stress that our ancestors felt.
That's right.
And the stress that we're feeling now. So it's acting in our body in the same way. And unfortunately, nowadays in modern society, we don't relieve that stress. It's constant. We could be on our phone at one click. And we're on our phone. Now we're stressed over our phone on social media. We're stressed over emails. We're stressed rushing to work every morning. You get up every morning, that's stress. And then bad relationships, sometimes toxic relationship, business stress, and unfortunately, what we need to do in this go society, we need to. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't, but hopefully, we're getting there. I'm seeing the meditation, the self-care. All of that is very important, because if we do not relieve that stress, then we get in this constant chronic stress state, and that increases our cortisol levels. And high cortisol levels can manifest disease in the body. And then, I mean, you add the internal stressors, the food, everything else,
stress, the food, and all the chemical stuff in our food too. Like we can talk about how we have chemicalized our food. So now we have cancer, we have diabetes, all kinds of diseases that comes from our digestion system.
In America, per the CDC website, in the year 2020 and 2021, the number one leading cause of death was heart disease.
Wow.
And that is 700,000 people each year.
That's a lot of
dying
people
from heart disease.
What's the COVID? I mean, that should be pandemic every year.
And
cancer too. How many people that have cancer?
Number 2 leading cause of death was cancer, and that's 600,000 people each year dying from cancer. And the reason why I use those statistics in 2020 and 2021 still is because that was during the big C, when that was going around during the pandemic. And still, number 1 and number 2, heart disease and cancer. Number 3, was the big C. But even on the CDC website, it does say that you have a higher chance of having severe infection, severe outcomes from getting the C, and our mortality, dying from it, when you have, guess what? Things like heart disease, things like those chronic conditions, comorbidities, so diabetes, things like that. And then you also increase your risk when you smoke tobacco. You increase your risk when you have inactivity. So you don't have physical activity. So that is really, really affecting our community. Huge. I mean,
especially in our community right now, like you were saying, the heart disease, besides other things, are killing our community. But also the lack of nutrition food. But I would take it even taking it back into the mother's womb. hitting the from zero age, because
Yes.
we really have to, back home where I came from,
Uh-huh.
Ethiopia, once a woman is pregnant,
Mm.
that's when you start, the whole community start feeding you,
Mm.
taking care of you.
Yes.
Because you're bringing a child in this world
Yes.
from, you have to make him healthy and make her healthy
Mhm.
from the mother's womb.
Yes.
So we got to take care of our young
Mm.
mothers too, through
That's a really good
nutrition,
point.
food, and mental health.
That's a
Because
really good point.
they are connected to us.
Statistics show what the mother eats can make a difference on a
Yeah.
child having diabetes,
Yes.
a child being obese.
Yeah.
Those all make a difference.
Yeah.
What the mother is eating. Are they
Yeah.
eating healthy food at that time?
Yeah.
If they're not, it can increase gestational diabetes,
Yes.
and then your offspring ends up having a higher risk of having obesity and things like that.
Absolutely.
So that is a really, really good point.
Yeah, and also look at our soil, like I was saying, especially in the United States, we only have 1% of the soil organic soil. That means
Mm.
our soil has been chemicalized.
Mm.
So every food we eat is already been chemicalized. So even the wheat is bleached with it says
Ooh.
bleached flour. It's not
Please.
even hiding,
For real, please turn your packages around and look at the ingredients. I always say
Yeah.
that they are literally bleaching things white with chlorine and peroxide. When you have refined salt,
Yeah.
most of the white salts, you have like Celtic salt that's not refined, which is good. Himalayan salt, which is pink, is good. But when you have refined
That's what I
salt, what
use.
they're doing, they're bleaching. They're using bleaching agents,
Yeah.
and they're stripping it of the necessary electrolytes.
Yes.
So they're taking sodium out of it.
Mhm.
They're taking potassium out of it. They're taking all those necessary electrolytes out.
That
And
we
guess
know
what?
body needs.
Yes. And then did I say sodium? I meant the potassium, the calcium, the different electrolytes except sodium. So
Yeah.
they keep sodium in there, and then so when you consume it like that, then it's spiking your blood sugar because it just has sodium. It doesn't
Yeah.
have the other electrolytes that balance us out.
Yeah.
So as Black people, we love our people of African descent, and Africans, we love our seasoning. So we can simple changes like that, understanding non-GMO seasoning and seasonings that are not refined.
Yes.
And bleached, like you're saying.
Mhm.
Even like you mentioned, the flour.
Yes.
Look for unbleached. Really
Yes.
pay attention to that. There, even the sugar. The sugar.
Don't start me with that. The sugar is like
My
it's
goodness.
a drug.
It is.
It's worse than
It has
drug.
effects on the brain like a drug. And so, especially when you're doing refined sugar, they're doing bleaching agents with that
Yeah.
too. They even do bone chars to make it look really white.
Yeah.
So, the sugar, that's a whole nother level.
With
Raw
the
sugar is
Yeah.
better. Raw sugar
I mean,
is brown.
if it's eating our teeth, which is the
That should tell us
strongest,
something.
the strongest organ in our body. Think about it. Honestly,
Right.
I mean, it's common sense sometimes. It's not rocket scientist.
Right.
If
Can
it's
eat
eating
the
our
bone,
teeth, which is
which is bone.
bone,
Right.
imagine what it does. It goes into our organ, what it does it into, what it does to our organ. So, but it's so hard. It's the same thing. This is the culture here, food culture, which is eating, fast food because everybody's busy.
Right.
And also something sweet is part of the culture too.
Right.
It's, the diet.
And
Where I came from, is fruit is
that's your sweet.
That's
nature.
It's
That
your
is
mango.
That is God's
orange,
sweet
yeah,
right there.
your
Your fruit.
Yeah, but human being happens. Now we destroyed our soil through chemicalizing, because our food, what we eat, it has chemical. In a way, it was chemicalized. So our digestion system is digesting that every day. So it piles up eventually. That's why we have cancers, diabetes,
Yes.
and all that.
Our intestines are 20 feet long.
Yeah.
So when you stretch it out, our intestines are longer than a light bulb.
Wow.
So when you, like you mentioned,
Yes.
what we're eating, when we're eating toxic ingredients, what we're doing is our body can't absorb it properly,
Yeah.
and it can damage the lining of our small intestines.
Yeah.
And that's why certain diseases can manifest differently in other people. Some people might have an autoimmune condition, and then they're telling you, oh, there's nothing, we don't know how it happened, there's nothing you can do about it, right?
Yeah.
But some people, it might manifest in diabetes, and just depending on how it's affecting you, everybody is different, and everything is interconnected. And so if you damage certain parts of your small intestine, like you mentioned, it can leak into the blood-brain barrier.
Yeah.
And then this is where we get to the mental health.
Yeah.
Because you're getting your body is looking at that as like a foreign invader.
Yeah.
When these toxic ingredients get past the damaged intestines, and so now you're looking at it. Your body's looking at it as a foreign invader. You're having basically these immune responses to it. You know, like basically when you're like nervous, you get butterflies.
Yeah.
But you're nervous, but you feel it in your gut.
Yeah.
Because everything is interconnected.
It is.
Vagus nerve comes from the back of the head down to your intestines.
Yeah.
Everything's connected. So dealing with mental health diseases, things like depression.
Yeah.
Yes, what you eat can actually contribute to depression.
Yeah. Trauma. I mean, also the trauma and everything adds up to it. But food is the ultimate. I mean, we live in a Western society right now because we're too busy working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and everything. We can't go to the farmer's market and pick up, like, I grew up on that. Like, where, we go to the market, farmer's market, get your food, come home, they cook, and you eat cooked food.
And you're walking to the farmer's market.
Every day.
That was the activity.
That's what they do. Every day they go to the farmer's market, pick up their vegetables, cook for you, and eat. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to bring, that plant-based food mentality.
Yeah.
For your food. Food is nice. Yes. Other civilization, the Western civilization, we're getting so far away from food. Yes. We're not even thinking about that all the time, like athletes in the body. We are supposed to eat our plant-based food, our what we need. We have specific needs that even in the Bible was told to eat. We didn't call, we need to take that, it's everything. The science, sweat. So when we digest to that type of need, our body or our immune has to see all the chemical stuff. So that's the whole genetic, yes, exactly. And also we can utilize the seed in the heart of water. Yes, we do. We're not actually to eat. We know it can be very difficult in the standard American diet because they make it difficult. We understand that. So it's like, if you can eat an alternative food, like, so instead of eating, if you love salt and you're always eating chips, maybe try baked chips. Yeah. And turn the package around and see, can you understand these ingredients? Eventually you can do carrots instead, and carrots and hummus. You might get even celery. I think celery has a similar type of it can help you with the salt addiction that you have. It kind of has like that salty type of can satisfy the salty desire for food. So just Wellness Wednesdays, meatless Mondays. Not stay away from sugar for a month.
Exactly, not bashing anybody. Just have alternatives. The art of alternatives. Be more aware. Be more conscious. Is it being woke? Also being woke about what we're putting and what we're consuming. So just be more conscious about that. Always say, turn your packages around. Try to stick to 5 ingredients or less. Ingredients you can understand and pronounce.
Some of them sounds like chemical to me. when you read them,
you
like,
shouldn't be eating it most likely. I mean,
yeah,
you can look it up, but whole foods are better. And then they also changed on us, like you said, the chemicals. They even changed the word GMO. Now it's called biodegradable.
wow,
So when you're looking for GMO, also look for biodegradable because they're switching it up on us.
yeah.
You in
And
America, you
GMO,
have to be hyper
yeah,
aware.
GMO is banned. I mean, probably
Mm,
15 years ago in Europe. Why are we still eating GMO here in the United States? Because lobbyists have it. So the lobbyists, they practically lobby the politicians. So
mm,
we can keep on eating this chemical because they can keep on making money. So technically, it's all about the money.
it really.
Even the pharmaceutical company, they don't want us to heal, but at the same time, they make it so expensive
Mm,
for especially for elderly who has heart disease,
mm,
cancer,
mm,
and all that. If your insurance don't pay for it, they're not gonna take care of you the same as everybody else.
for real.
Yeah, so why not heal yourself, and instead of spending that much money, you can actually start healing yourself through food. You can reverse everything through food by
Yes.
changing just a little bit on your diet. I
Yes.
mean,
And I would go as far as lifestyle, over
yeah,
your overall lifestyle, um, because holistic is also your food, but it's also your environment. Like you said, your
yes,
mental, your spiritual,
yeah,
all of
your
that. So
financial,
holistic, everything is interconnected.
yeah,
So lifestyle is really it reflects your beliefs and values.
yeah,
And I think nowadays it's really important that we pause and really ask ourselves, are we
yeah,
living, like, are
our best life.
what are our beliefs and values,
Yeah,
and are we living life aligned with
yeah,
our values?
yeah,
And our values really reflect our lifestyle.
absolutely.
What is our why?
Yeah,
So that is very important. In our emotions, there can be certain traumas, certain things going on in our life that it can be holding us individually back from living,
hmm,
aligned with our values. But when we get down to those root causes, we talk about it, whether it be in therapy, whether it be in my group coaching that I do,
yeah,
group nurse coaching that I provide for my community. So those can help us kind of get down to those roots and understanding our why and our
yeah,
values, and really start switching our lifestyle around. Not everybody is a part of their lifestyle to
hmm,
run a mile every day, but you can incorporate in your lifestyle. I like to call my grandma every Sunday. Why not walk
yeah,
on the phone
yes.
to the park, because I know I'm gonna be sitting on the
I need to
phone with
do
my
that.
grandma,
Yeah,
so I can incorporate in my lifestyle, because that works for me.
yes,
The value, calling my grandma
yeah,
and keeping social connection.
that's right.
And the other value is I want to get more active for my overall health, to be here for my children and be a grandma for my
Yeah,
my children's children. There
absolutely.
goes our values. And then we
Yeah,
incorporate in our lifestyle individually
yeah,
how we can get in the healthy eating, the activity, the
yes,
spiritual health, all of
yeah.
those things.
That's right. And because, like I said, we live in here in the Western society, we have alternative. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like we don't have the choices. It's just
Yes,
the
that's so
choice
true.
we make. And even every day today, whether with the food we eat, the drink, like we were talking about how we consume so much cheese
Right.
and milk that human
And the
beings,
standard American
yeah,
diet.
even though we're mammals, we're not
Human
supposed
milk
to,
for humans
yeah.
at a certain age, and that's it.
That's it. After you're 5, 6 year old, wow, we're drinking milk. Like animals don't do that. Like all the mammals, like once their kids are a little bit, then they push them to go and do, find their
Right,
food
right.
because that's the nature, part
Ex-
of the nature
and
of
like you
it,
said, we're getting away from the natural.
the natural way. Because now we have human made, and
Mm,
the human made is including making money of us,
right,
making money of our sickness, making money of our stress, making money of our death.
right.
So when we get money involved in our health,
Yeah, that
that's
should
where,
money should be
yeah,
separate.
money, that's what we need to
Shouldn't
make
be
our
private.
government accountable. We need to make our government accountable. Who's passing those policies? Honestly, who's passing those policies that GMO is okay? Why?
Right.
We have the money, we have the land, we have the money, we have the skill. This is America. We have UC Davis, the number one agriculture school in the whole world, helping all
Right.
over the world, Asia, Israel, everything. UC Davis is helping to build all that farming industry.
Wow.
So
I
why
didn't know
not?
that.
Why can't we do it here organically?
Exactly. Too much money in it.
We
They
have, we
don't
still have
care.
the money, we still have the funds, but because of that, they make money off the human people dying and also
Hmm.
taking those pills. It's got to stop. We got to stop it through policy as people. We have to make our politician accountable for
Yes.
passing at
Yes.
the federal level, at the state level. They pass those policy because the politicians are in bed with the business people. I'm serious.
Exactly.
That's what they do.
Exactly.
And then they actually be part of it. Only in America. I mean, I lived in England. You can't do that. Politicians cannot get involved with the business people.
Yeah.
Now you're
That's
supposed
how
to
it
be,
should be. It
yeah,
should
you're
be
supposed to be
separate.
serving the underserved, underrepresented community. But
Exactly.
now you're actually making money off the underserved, underrepresented community for feeding such a. Now we have to pay for everything. The rich people or the people with the money, they have alternatives. They can afford to eat organic food.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
this vicious cycle
Vicious
here, we
cycle.
gotta change it
When
through
you're
policy.
stressing check by check, like if you
Yes.
go into areas that are more well off, you will
Hmm.
see, you can visibly see that they're not stressing as much because they're out with their dog
Yeah.
and they're getting their
European, that's how they live.
daily jogs.
They eat the
They're
healthy
doing
food.
eating the healthy food, but when you're stuck in this cycle of poverty, but poverty is also a state of mind,
Yeah.
so that's huge. State of
Yeah.
mind,
Yeah.
we can get ourselves out of it,
Yeah.
as well. But they have a stake to play in it as
Yes.
well. So when we're thinking about check to check,
Yeah.
we don't have time to focus on our working out, our
No, no, no.
self
Look at the
care.
women. We working like 10 jobs the same time. The government behind us, behind. So, I mean, the stress level is so high. And I'm thinking, like, we're living in a Western civilization, the richest country in the world, but everybody's stressed, everybody's suffering, everybody's in pain, everybody's sick. They say 90% of Americans are short of fiber. That is, I didn't come up with that statistic. So you need
I
to
would tell you,
you enjoy it. Yeah,
you get your fiber, okay? You are getting your fiber. That is
it's
big.
gluten free injera.
Yes,
It has
fiber is very, very
very,
important.
very
Literally, if
important.
you are eating, if you're eating 2 to 3 meals a day
Yes,
that's high in fiber and well balanced, you should be having 2 to 3 bowel movements a day.
yes, yes.
Now, I'm not gonna get in your business
Yeah. If you're not, then check your digestion system.
because
I'm
this is
serious.
how we remove toxins from our
Yeah,
body.
yeah, yeah,
Daily, and it should be multiple times a day. But a
yeah,
lot of, like you said, we're lacking fiber and
yeah.
water.
Yes,
We need fiber, water, motility, movement.
yes,
Motility helps with moving and
yes,
getting everything going. That is so important for
yeah,
us
yeah.
because go. I mean, imagine going a week without movement. That is adding
That,
toxins in your
yeah,
body.
that's sickness right there because every day, a lot of the diseases comes from our digestion system.
Like I
So
said, the
if
20
our
foot low.
yeah, if our digestive system is not recycling all that and getting rid of through fiber, fiber is like a shower to your digestion system.
Yes, 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 yes.
So you're not getting enough fiber from your vegetables and from your grain, not with flour. That's gluten, high in gluten.
Yeah,
It's actually damaging your
gluten.
intestine. Yeah.
You're right. Gluten, and that's another thing that's damaging the lining of
If
your
you teff,
intestines.
we're growing teff now.
Yes,
Here in
amazing.
California,
I love it.
because teff has 3 times fiber than any other grain. Can you believe that? So that's why, for me, thank God, I never had no problem my problem because,
That's
I
good.
eat my injera every day, my
Yeah.
vegetable. I feel healthy. I feel
Yes.
energetic. I
Yes.
can do, 10, 12 hours of work, honestly. Because
Yes.
I go to my Queen Shiva, I thank God first, and then I
Yes.
thank my
Spiritual.
ancestors.
Spiritual. Ashe.
I swear, every day, thank you, ancestors, for coming up such a food, plant-based
Ashe.
food, where you can actually cook your plant-based food
Ashe.
with garlic, ginger, turmeric.
Yes.
Everything's so good for you. God already gave us that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
human
Yes.
being happen. I'm serious. We destroyed our air. We destroyed our earth. We destroyed human beings' soul. Soul.
I would say the corruption.
Yeah, the
corrupt
corruption.
ones.
Money comes in, greed. But we have everything, but the greed we need to get rid of.
Yeah.
Because the greed is what is making us eat chemical. Really.
Right.
We
Right.
really
I
don't
mean,
need it.
like
We
you
can
were
grow.
saying, a lot of the food here in America is banned
Yeah,
in
in
other
other
countries.
countries.
So we do.
European, I lived in Europe, like I said, GMO food is banned. They don't eat what we eat. Everything
Right.
is portioned
Yeah.
and because they have figured it out. But here, because America is a business country, they're not worried about people. They're worried about placing the businesses, the big companies, the lobbyists. I mean, I call lobbyists legally bribable. They bribe it. I mean, they say Africa bribe. This is a bribe. Like you actually bribing the politician through lobbyists to create a policy so their
Yes.
company can keep on making
And that's
money
why
off
it's so
us.
important for us to take control of the
It's not
things
that hard.
that we
Yeah.
can control. And everybody has
Education.
different strengths, and everybody has different purpose
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
And that can be another internal stressor too, not living life aligned with our purpose.
Yes, purpose is important.
Purpose
That's
is
what we're here
huge.
for.
Yeah. But the things we can control is
Yeah.
our everyday lifestyle, really.
Yeah.
And that is so important. I even go when it comes to the energy, when it comes to Kemetic Reiki. So I don't know if a lot of people know about chakras and things like that and Reiki. I learned the ancient way of doing it, the original from ancient Egypt, Kemet. And so we understand that you have 7 energy centers.
Yeah.
And when we're living aligned and learning the lessons that we need to learn in life, raising our vibration, but sometimes we get trauma and different things. You can have childhood trauma, and that's our root. That's called Sefket in Kemetic terms, and that's our root. Ages 1 through 7. If we're going through things, sometimes if we don't deal with that as adults, we live an unstable life.
Yeah.
Some people can. Even here in the heart, the Kepra. The heart. Unforgiveness. If we're dealing with unforgiveness, we're dealing with broken heart that we haven't mended and forgave and moved forward, moved on. We're stuck here in this energy. It's stuck, and we're not raising our vibration and raising to a higher self, a high ascension here on earth. We're here on earth, so we want to ascend here on earth. Heaven on earth. Okay.
Yes. Not somewhere in the sky.
So, but there's lessons literally going on in our life that we're meant to live. We're living life to learn.
Absolutely.
Learning the lessons. So if we're stuck here, and this is where it connects to our health, because if literally unforgiveness changes the chemicals in our body.
Yeah.
And it can cause a weakened immune system.
Yeah.
It can also heavy heart.
Yeah.
Our heart is a body muscle. And our heart has to work to keep us alive.
Yeah.
The heavier it is, the harder it is to work. Now you gotta, eat environment. This is why we talk in holistic health for our community. We're dealing with a lot of stress. We're dealing with a lot of trauma. We need to get to that. We need to.
That's right. Walk it up. Yes.
Release those blockages.
Yes.
Release those blockages.
Yes.
Help us get higher vibrations.
Yes.
Get away from the negative
negative
music,
energy,
what we're listening, what we're
yeah.
seeing, negative. Get away from that. We
Yes.
need to release those blockages,
That's right.
release the traumas, talk about it,
Yes.
speak about it. If you're not speaking, people can get diseases of the throat,
Absolutely.
thyroid,
Yeah.
Sikkim, our
Yes.
life force.
Yes.
That's how you say the
And
throat
when we don't
chakra.
speak what we feel, that can
It gets
affect
stuck here.
inside too, because
Yes.
we're not putting that energy out. You know, sometimes we gotta get it out, even if we have to talk to therapy, whoever, your friends or your, get it out. But if we're not speaking and we keep it in there, and that stuff can affect our mental health.
Yes. Sikkim.
Mm.
If you Sikkim.
That's right.
You literally say that you're vibrating, you're activating
Yes.
this Iritu. That's how you say chakra in Kemetic terms.
Yes.
You're activating here and you're releasing.
Mm-hmm.
Sikkim is also listening. Some
Mhm.
people talk too much and don't listen enough.
That's
You
right.
have stagnant energy here as well.
Yeah.
Maybe you were younger, you were never able to speak up for yourself.
Yes.
There goes the traumas
Speak.
that we're not dealing with.
Yes.
And that can cause issues in our throat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what we speak is
Yeah.
powerful because we can literally manifest
Yeah, as a spirit.
what we
Word is
and
spirit.
yes.
Mhm.
Sikkim is also known as spiritual power.
That's right.
Spiritual power because the vibration
Yes.
of what we speak and how we speak
Mhm.
literally manifests what we want in our
Yes.
life.
Absolutely.
Powerful. And there goes the spiritual health. So everything
Yes.
is connected. Don't
Yeah.
think
And
that
your
it's
spiritual
not.
eye, a lot of us, our
Yes.
spiritual eye is
Yes.
shut down. Even though it's right there, we can't see.
Yes.
Like that's why.
Yes.
Like even though we have 5 senses, we have 6 senses.
Yes.
Some people have 7 senses, but we gotta use our 6 senses, which is our spiritual eye.
Yes, and we like to call in Kemetic terms,
You gotta look around you.
we like to
Yeah.
call this not the third, but the first eye
Yeah, that's
because
right. The
when
first
you
eye.
can walk in a room
Yeah,
and feel
that's the
something is
spiritual eye.
off
Yeah.
before you see why it's off because that first eye is telling you something is off.
Yes.
And when you
And
are
you
in
gotta
tune,
trust that.
trust.
Yeah.
When you are in tune with your intuition,
Yes.
but mind you, you're blocked.
Yeah.
In certain areas, you may not be in tune with your intuition and trust
Yeah.
the way you need to, trusting God, trusting yourself, understanding the power within,
Yes.
all of those things, all of it. And the first eye, the mer, that's how you say it in Kemetic terms.
Yes.
You raise vibration, you raise the way you speak it
Yes.
to raise your vibration. So that's
Yeah.
a higher pitch. Mer. So this is how you activate that, but just trusting intuition is really important that we
Very important.
learn to do that.
Yeah, but that's why education comes in. That's why we need an alternative education too, because the Western education have been teaching us how to get a job, you know, how to go in. You know, when I went to school, you know, I was, okay, which education does pay me, and instead of what is my purpose?
Right.
How do I put back into community, family? You know,
Right.
what we're here for, the purpose of it. So that's why we gotta focus on our purpose. And like God said, protect your mind and protect your heart.
Yes.
So if we're not protecting our heart and our mind, and we lose our mind and we lose our health from our heart.
That is so true.
The heart disease.
And even me getting official education through nursing,
Yeah.
like that, it's still Western teaching. And I had to do the extra learning. I had to get certified because I understood, like, I really got into nursing to heal. People tell me your touch is amazing. Well, how can I learn, to use my touch in a way to heal and also teach others to heal themselves? Absolutely. We have an aura around us. We have energy within our hands and our touch,
Absolutely.
And so when it comes to the Western teaching, it separates the spirituality.
Yes. The traditional.
The traditional, the traditional, well, in Western, it separates the spirituality from the
but it's connected.
Holistic health and things like that.
Yeah.
The health, basically. It's not holistic. It's basically not holistic. And you teach take a medication from the for the heart, and sometimes that medication for the heart affects the kidney, and sometimes the medication for the kidney is now causing you to be nauseous. Then you take a medication for nausea. You know, it's like
when you see the commercial, I'm like, how are these people taking all this medicine, but they, it would heal one and then it would destroy the other.
and
God help me.
I'm not telling you not to take your meds, but
no, we're not saying that, but you can prevent from getting there.
Certain lifestyle changes,
yes,
you just might find.
Yeah, you prevent from
just
getting
might find that you need to have a conversation with your doctor about, do I still need this medication?
Yes.
But that's on you and your doctor. Always have those conversations with your doctor. But yes.
But for me, I'm having a conversation with God. No, I need the doctor expert too, because God has given us, like you said, with the power within. We have the power to make a choice. We have a power to decide what to do from the wrong to the right.
Yes.
So that is the power within us, especially when
conversation with God.
Yeah. Okay. When we live here, especially here, we are so privileged. We have so much options.
We do have options.
You go to the supermarket. COVID time, I kid you or not, when the COVID happened, the supermarkets, all the vegetables and everything sitting there, but the canned food, all gone. That's how it was, but you would think it's the other way around, because what heals you is the vegetable and the fresh and fresh, that what the earth has given it to us. But the problem nowadays, even the earth is destroyed. Like I was saying, our soil is only 1% organic soil. So we gotta make our politicians and the people in the agriculture accountable. It's not about money. It's about human beings. It's about our kids' mental health. Right now, mental health is pandemic. I don't even know why they're not saying it, because they have to put it under the rug. In America, a lot of our kids, I'm telling you, are affected by mental health. The reason what you were earlier talking about.
Yes.
They stress out. You ask them why you stress. They don't even know why they stress.
Right. Oh,
but they're telling you, I'm so stressed out. And when I was like, what are you stressed about? They have to think about, school. I mean, we were in school too. I mean, so
nowadays that social media makes a big.
And social media ain't teaching them nothing except to be stressed out and be competition and all that. They ban us from actually educating and all that, but they show speaking the truth, but they show all kind of our parts all over our internet, and our kids are affected by that. But all that because the politicians have decided to pass those policies. They can actually honestly control all this stuff through policy, but they have to make money. Like our life is like money. No, we're not a money machine, especially in our community.
Right.
When we don't, you know what I mean? We're not even thriving.
Capitalist society.
But they still making money off us. We're not getting the health care we need, and we're not getting the alternative health care education. And they just keep on making money off us, or our being sick, our being mental health, our dying. We gotta make our politician accountable so they can change those policies.
That's true.
That puts
so we need to be aware of the policies.
Yeah. That's the only way these companies are able to do the things they do. Tomorrow they can change it, but once it's in the policy and it's a law, they can do whatever they need to. Wow. That's how they're destroying our climate and all that. How do you think our climate is destroyed? Because of profit making, and because of the politicians are allowing them, signing them, and instead of giving us the reparation. See, when we fight for Black people reparations so we can heal ourselves, and especially African American community, from the trauma that they caused them from generation, but they don't want to pass that policy, but they're passing policy for big companies to kill our soil, to kill our kids, through gun and community violence, poverty, mental poverty.
Grow our own food.
Yeah, no funds when it comes to investing in our youth. Right now, our youth are dying. Like, that's not normal. Between 15 to 25, 26, those are the youth that we need for our community.
Definitely.
But it's a high death. Like even all elder people are not dying the way our youth are dying because they're not investing in our community. They're not investing in education, alternative education too, not with the Western. Yes, good to have that too. But where is our alternative education so our community can come and afford and learn from you? Most people cannot afford that.
Right.
Even
Right. We just did we should do another one next year. My husband and I just did a holistic health workshops called Healthy Life is in Style.
Yeah.
And so that was free to the community. So definitely follow my page. I Affirm Holistic Health.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. Yes, we do want to add more.
We need to have it every month.
Our discounted workshops to our community. I went into a holistic health presentation. My husband, Coach Rahotep, he did, and he's on Instagram as well. He did building healthy habits.
Yes.
It takes 21 days to build a habit. So, you know, getting into how that's affecting the mental health. A lot of these habits that we get stuck in really is affecting our mental health. And he goes into that. And then I did the Kemetic Reiki, the energy work, where I don't just do it on others. I teach people how to use self-healing tools and how to understand the lessons that are going on in our life, help us to, we need to get to the next stages in our life or we get stuck.
Absolutely.
And that affect and trauma, all types of traumas and on healing, not healing through them can cause disease. It really does. And that's why in Western society, they separate that. They separate the energy and the spiritual when it's not separate. It is all connected.
Yeah, because they don't believe in God. They believe in science. But, you know, the whole holistic. I mean, it's all science. It came from God.
Exactly.
The whole earth, the universe, the stars, the moon, it's in us. That's why we gotta take care of our human beings. Look at in our community. I mean, we have to fight for basic human right, access to nutrition food, access to housing. Even though we are 5% in California, 40% of our Black community homeless from lack of housing, access to health care. You know how hard it is for our Black community to get a proper health care, and they don't want to pay for the alternative. Access to education, access to opportunity. So that is all that. Last time they were showing the poverty level, the state of Black Californians, the poverty level is around 30%. 30%. They say 30% of Black community poverty level. That's not acceptable, and we only 5% of us in California. But our poverty level is 30%. Well, for white people, only 1% poverty level. And so we gotta get out of that poverty.
And I, when it comes to, I spoke about it, poverty is huge because then that's affecting our health as well. And I spoke about, you know, us dying overall, dying from heart disease and cancer. Well, Black people, we're at the top of a lot of those lists, and we're 30% higher risk of dying from stroke compared to white. Black, usually everybody says it's just a color, but I like to say of African descent. So, you know, us of African descent, we're higher chance of actually 30% higher chance of dying from stroke if we get a stroke. 50% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease, and 4 times plus higher risk of end-stage renal disease. So we're really underserved, and a lot of this is affecting us at a different level. There's even a slavery hypertension hypothesis that they have. They say that, and I'm pretty sure trauma, they say that this one's specifically on the high blood pressure, why we have a higher prevalence of high blood pressure. So they hypothesize that we basically have this where we've adapted. So us of African descent from in America, we have a higher prevalence of high blood pressure. We adapted this ability to conserve salt.
Yeah.
And so it helped us then, you
Mm.
know, when we were enslaved Africans, because we weren't dying from diarrhea, vomiting, all these things that cause dehydration. We adapted. We're resilient people.
Yeah.
We are resilient, okay?
Yeah.
We adapted and we conserved the salt to not die from that. But now it's not helping us because,
No.
as I mentioned, they're stripping the salt of the
Yeah.
natural ingredients that we need, and it spikes our blood pressure. And then we love our seasoning. So then it's like this cycle that we're in, and that's why it's so important for us to find salts that aren't refined, salts that are natural, or Himalayan, Celtic, things like that. It's so important because we are really, underserved, and there's things that are going on with us in the African community, African descent, African American, Black. We are really, there's some individual situations that are really holding us back, and that's why it's so important that we do focus on those lifestyle changes and those small changes that we can really do that make a huge effect on decreasing the suffering that we're really having. High blood pressure can lead to stroke.
Suffering. Honestly, like our community is suffering from sickness. We're suffering from our kids being killed by poverty, community, police. It's not fair. It's got to stop, because why would our people paid for 400 years. I mean, I have to remind people every day, like 400 years is a long, long, long time to work for free while you're being abused, like you said, and forced to food that is not even used.
Post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Yeah, all that. And then these people, they sit there like, oh, it wasn't us who did that. It was our ancestors. But you're still living on the policy that your ancestors created.
Yes. And
if you don't change that, you benefiting of the wicked wealth that was created for you, and you don't want to change the policy. And we still function by that. That's why we're still in our community a high poverty, even though everybody comes from all over the world for this opportunity, education and
like
business
you said,
opportunity.
The choice.
Yeah.
But they choice.
Yeah, we have the choice. But the thing is, they don't want to give us the money, the fund. Like the reparation should have been done long time ago to heal our Black community, because they have to pay. They have to pay for better food. If they want to come and eat Queen Sheba, they have to pay between $15-$20, because otherwise it's so hard to survive. Or the $3 McDonald's. So you see,
right.
So if the middle class,
and then the McDonald's are on every corner
in our community, especially on the alcohol, the liquor shops, and the food dry in our community, and they let it be deliberately because they want to control our population too. We're still only 13%. Come on, Black people been here for a long time. European come from Europe and populate America, obviously, from World War I, World War II, now Russia and Ukraine. And then we talk about Haiti coming in here. I mean, the way how they manipulate the whole thing. Oh, Pamela is half Jamaican and half Indian, but Trump is half German, half Scottish. What is the difference? They're both immigrant. You see what I mean? They're hitting on, oh, she's not Black. Yes, she's Black, but he's white because he came from Europe. You see what I mean? But it's just the way how they manipulate the whole thing. Right. It's wicked.
Right.
So that's why, as Black people, as Black community, we gotta come together,
and like you said,
and change that policy.
We're really not minority. They want us to seem like we are, but Pan-African, if we understand we are all one.
Yeah, we're not minority. We are diaspora. We are around 50 million of us in America.
Not minority.
No, if the white people, if you divide them by German and Dutch and Italian and British, they are actually the minority, because not all Africans are African American. You see what I mean? African American actually are the majority, because 45% of African American, if you divided it by race, because we Africans, we come from Africa, but we're
Right.
not we're not African American.
Mhm.
Just like European, the European who's been here a long time ago,
Mhm.
then the European came from Europe yesterday, are not the American that, do you see what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
if you divided it by the race and ethnic group,
Mhm.
African Americans are the
Different
majority.
cultures.
They
Yeah.
are the majority.
Mhm.
But when it comes to white, they unite as one,
Right.
even though British and French, they don't even like each other. You see what I mean? But
Right.
when they come here as
Economically,
white, economically,
yeah.
they won. While we are divided,
We
you
shouldn't-
African, you
exactly.
African American, you this, you
Moja,
Jamaican.
we are one.
We are one
Moja.
African.
Pan African,
Yeah, Pan African.
Selassie.
Until we do that, they're gonna make money off us by division. That's how they divided us in
Selassie,
Africa. They divided us here. We'll let it be. It's not the people we are against. You know, every human being is God's children. He created
Yes.
us equally.
Yes.
But the system that they created,
Yes.
the system that needs to be changed is a bias system. The law, the policy, the people who work in there, even the people, our black people, they put there specifically. They pick and choose who actually protect their gate. That's what they do. So we don't come in and get the fund to heal our community. So I mean, what do we have to do here? We got to fight for policy. As black people, we got to come together.
And different sectors. I'm the health.
Yes,
You
I'm
do
the business,
Yes.
and we have agriculture people. We have all skill and knowledge.
We are mighty.
We are mighty people.
Okay?
We're gonna heal the
So many
earth
different
because
skills.
look where we are right now. Until I'm scared. I mean, it really scares me the way how where we act for what we're passing down to our kids, our kids and kids. This earth, if we don't fix this chemical stuff they putting in our food and our air,
ADHD, all this
global warming came from human
red
beings.
dyes.
The soil being destroyed, GMO and all that, putting in our, how we put chemical in our soil. So this came from us, from people letting these big companies abuse, just like abusing a child, like sex trafficking. This man, they get there, they have the money, and instead of putting it back into the community, they're using it for their sex trafficking and all that stuff. We got to stop all that. As a human being, everybody, white, black, Asian, who cares? But they divided it deliberately so they can keep on taking advantage of human beings. You know, that's why God warned us. Human beings are going to destroy themselves. That's why we're going that way. And who's stopping them? They don't even believe in global warming, climate change. They caused it themselves. So anything changing our chemical in the air, we could be all gone.
Right.
We are depending on the whole internet service. Tomorrow they can cut it, and we all what? The electrical system, all human being, man.
Right. We have to be self-sufficient, definitely.
Self-sufficient, grow your food.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. Focus on your food. Focus on your mental health.
Yes.
Focus on your thanking God. Don't you know God said that's the whole point of how we try to reach to God in the Bible. And he divided us through language or whatever. But right now where we at, that's where we at. We're trying to reach to God, going to space, in the moon, in the Jupiter, whatever. And instead of fixing our earth right here. Our earth is gonna go if we let these companies get away with it, putting chemical into our air and earth. So we all as a human being, we have to open up our first eye.
Yes.
So our kids can have a better world. Yes. Tell them about your name, what it means.
So my name, Isali Pukatila Isande. And that means my prayers will embrace the earth. My prayers will save the earth.
Yes.
I got my name so my parents
education for me, pride in being an African descent, pride in my heritage, and give me a powerful name. And I am blessed to be aligned and aligned with my purpose. I'm blessed to even be in 13 I found an area where they have the American Holistic Nursing Association where I can get into the way I would like to do my clients, get into cause and do group setting and health education. Yeah. And I have an avenue to do that. I'm a board certified nurse coach. I'll be taking the test to be a board certified holistic nurse soon. So I'm really sitting back and understanding that I am aligning with my name. Isali Fukatila, Isande. My prayers will embrace the earth. My prayers will save the earth. Yeah. And follow my my website. I have a website, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah. I Affirm Holistic Health. And yes, when you say my business name, because I can't go all into it right now, but affirmations have saved my life. Prayers and affirmations, but I would say affirmations help me understand the power within. Yeah. And affirmations literally saved my life, helped me to be where I am today. And I wanted to share that with the world. So when you say my business name, I Affirm Holistic Health, you can't help but to affirm holistic health in your life.
Absolutely. And please reach out to her. Yeah. It takes a village. It takes a community. And we are that community in Sacramento to heal our community through food, through healing, natural healing. Even, if you have to get sick, we still have to heal you. So everything is about healing. Healing the earth, healing our humanity, healing our kids in generation. That's what we are. And we want you to be part of our, regardless. We are all human beings under God. We are God's children. And we have to practice it like that.
One God.
One God. And we practice our healing. And please follow her and come and eat your Queen Sheba food. Your vegetables and your farm to fork food. And also we're growing our food now through Sheba Farm. So I want to grow all my organic food and organic grain, the tip, high in fiber. So we have to heal our community people through what we do, through what God, our purpose. That's our purpose. And join us with your purpose. All right, thank you, dear. I appreciate you. This is amazing. Thank you. I'm gonna have you more often because we need that type of education.
Yes.
Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Please follow us. We're everywhere.
Peace and blessings.
Yes. And health is your wealth.
Yes.